Oops. I will call to order the meeting for Wednesday, September 17th. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Allen,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Clayton,
Present.
Commissioner Kaler, Commissioner Crawley,
Present.
and Commissioner Skidmore.
Present.
I would like to welcome everyone here in the audience as well as everyone watching or listening at home. We will begin today's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Pastor Darren Story with Westminster Presbyterian Church.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we gather here today to conduct the business of our city. We thank you for the gift of this community and for the dedicated individuals who serve on this commission, as well as the citizens who have come to participate. As we begin, we ask for your divine wisdom and guidance. Help our leaders deliberate with open hearts and clear minds. Grant them the discernment to make decisions that serve the greater good of all residents, especially those most vulnerable and most often unheard. May personal agendas be set aside in favor of a shared vision for justice and well-being. We ask that you guide us, order our steps, and we thank you for the opportunity and the freedom to do so. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. We will move on to public comments. Do we have any registered?
We do. We have one, George Ogle.
Okay. Subject to the above restrictions, persons who wish to address the commission regarding items on the agenda may do so as the agenda item is called. Persons who wish to address the city commission regarding items not on the agenda and that are under the jurisdiction of the city commission may do so at this time when called upon by the mayor. Comments on personnel matters and matters pending in court or with other outside tribunals are not permitted. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Any presentation is for information purposes only. The governing body will take comments under advisement. Mr. Ogle.
Good morning. George Ogle, 1305 South Elm Street. I was hoping that the final plat would be in front of you by now for the Woodridge Estates subdivision that I'm attempting to build, but it is not. In previous meetings, I've expressed problems I have had along this journey. Today, I'm just wanting to remind you of those issues by pointing out that the delays from then are again costing me actual funds still today. We are again doing another round of questions about water quality. While this is frustrating unto itself, it is what it is. It is definitely a learning process for me. This will be like the 7th or 8th submittal of questions, plus of course, many more back and forth meetings. The submittals and meetings with the city are part of the scope of work by the civil engineers that they charge for. When I mentioned in previous meetings that the city planner staff didn't release all the questions together or at the same time, or forgot to send a set for over a month, etc., it was costing me money. Well, the sets of questions each time we go back and forth now is doing exactly that. The scope of the work by the civil engineers has changed. If those mistakes by staff had not happened, we would still be in that original scope. Now I'm paying another $3,000 to $4,000 this week and possibly more next week and the week after, etc. It would be difficult to put an exact dollar amount on the mistakes, but it is significant. In one meeting you had with an unrelated yet similar situation about late permit issuances and time delays, it was mentioned that it may be a good idea at looking into fee adjustments or forgiveness when the city makes a mistake or multiple mistakes. Mistakes happen, but mistakes cost money. When I make a mistake, it costs me money. When you make a mistake, it costs me money. Please consider your thoughts of holding yourselves accountable as mentioned previously by this commission. I hope this development gets completed. It will of course depend on total cost and the requested RHID. We're getting close to finding out. Thank you.
Thank you. We will go on to appointments, proclamations, recognitions, and nominations. We have proclamation recognizing Constitution Week of September 17th through the 23rd. Constitution Week officially commemorates the anniversary of the creation of the world's longest lived written constitution. Linda Frederick, with the Daughters of the American Revolution, will accept the proclamation, which will be read by Mayor Pro Tem Clayton.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas September 17th, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize this magnificent document and the anniversary of its creation. And whereas in 1956, at the urging of the National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, Congress set aside September 17th through 23rd annually to be dedicated to the observance of Constitution Week, to 1, emphasize every citizen's responsibility to protect and defend the Constitution, 2, inform the people that the Constitution is the basis for America's great heritage and the foundation for our way of life, and 3, encourage the study of historical events which led to the framing of the Constitution in September 1787. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now, therefore, the governing body of the City of Ottawa, Kansas, does hereby proclaim September 17th through 23rd, 2025 to be Constitution Week in Ottawa, Kansas, and asks our citizens to reflect upon and reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787. Signed this 17th day of September 2025 by our Mayor, Emily Allen.
You want to come up for a picture?
Mayor Allen and Commissioners, on behalf of the General Edward Hand Chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, I humbly and proudly accept this proclamation regarding Constitution Week. 238 years ago, September 17th, 1787, the framers of our Constitution gathered in a room to sign a document that is still in effect today. It is the oldest document still active use that outlines the self-government of a nation. These men selected to draft our Constitution came from various walks of life. The oldest delegate was 81, Ben Franklin. The youngest was 26, Jonathan Dayton. Their political lives probably started like this: neighbors and family sitting around the kitchen table or in the parlor discussing the issues that were affecting them at the time. The American colonists had fought, sacrificed, and died to establish this new nation. These men knew the great responsibility in front of them to craft a document that would ensure the success of a new republic and that would allow the republic to grow. So from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1787 to Ottawa, Kansas in 2025, our desire for self-governing and taking care of our communities and neighbors continues today. So thank you for your time today, and thank you for your service to our community, sorry. And now we are going to the Old Depot to ring the bell for freedom. And at 1:45 today, we will be going to Lincoln Elementary School to talk to the fourth graders about the Constitution. We're also going to make bells with them and donate books to them about the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's very well said. Thank you. We will go on to the consent agenda, which includes minutes from September 10th, 2025 regular meeting, August 2025 Finance Monthly Report, minutes from August 13th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting, partner agency reports from August 2025, and the agenda approval. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. is
I'll
there-
second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to give the commissioners a chance to declare any conflict or communication they've had that might influence their ability to consider today's issues impartially. Seeing none, there's no unfinished business at this time, so we'll move on to new business. We'll start with 11A.
Old Marais River Run Car Show.
Chief Weingartner will provide a review of the Old Mare River Run Car Show, including event logistics and public safety measures. And we have Chief Weingartner.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. Thank you, commissioners and staff. I just want to summarize some of the planning and highlights that go into preparation for our community's largest public event. And certainly a really exciting few weeks in Ottawa, Kansas, from the tractor show to the car show to a whole variety of other events next weekend. Not nearly as impactful for us, but certainly going to bring a whole bunch of people in. Lots of ultra marathons on the trails, some large businesses, public events in parks, and gatherings and camping and all sorts of things, activity in September. So hope the weather holds like it has. Just want to kind of highlight a few of the things. So the purpose of our plan is to provide a safe and accessible space in Forest Park and in the Central Business District during cruise night for car show related events. Planning, just like some of our other larger events and even more so for this one, continues throughout this entire week with Director Welch, his park staff, public works staff, and all of the other city staff who's assisted us, including utilities, fire, IT, to make sure we're all ready for the influx of people that are going to come. Friday night, there'll be a concert in Forest Park. Then Saturday, the real show begins. And the times I have up here are really flexible. So people will really begin showing up with their cars to the park in the pre-dawn hours of Saturday morning. And that will continue until the cruise night starts later Saturday afternoon. 2 years ago, this being one, last being the second of those years, the car show requested to start the events on Saturday night, the cruise night, 1 hour earlier. So we have adjusted our schedules to do that. So the cruise night will begin. Our plans begin around 4 o'clock. The cruise night will begin about 5 and end at 9. It had been ended at 10 for many of the other years for this event. And we'll keep downtown and Main Street closed until several of the volunteer groups that provide services to the car club come through, starting from the south and moving north to pick up and clean the entire downtown area after the cruise night. So several community groups come in and move all across Main Street, including the sidewalks and into even some of the alleys, and police the trash that may be left from the participants. So that downtown area, by the time we open it back up Saturday night, will be likely even cleaner than it was when we started, because those community groups do such a good job. And then on Saturday afternoon, we'll begin restricting parking downtown. The car club will have signs out on utility or light poles downtown highlighting that. We'll begin our social media campaign to notify people about the restrictions that will come. And we ask that anyone who might be parked in the Central Business District on Saturday afternoon, please move your car out of there. We do require, because of the scale of the event, all vehicles to be removed off of Main Street prior to us allowing the car club members to come in and park in their spaces to then do the cruise night Saturday night. The car club contracts with the local tow service to remove any cars that might do that. And I apologize, I see a glowing spelling error now, even though I did spell check, but it is during, not the way it's spelled up there on the 21st slide. Darn it, don't you hate when you always see that on your presentation slide? But there it is, hitting you right in the face. But a local car club, we just relocate the vehicles from downtown. We don't tow, and there is no fee that's incurred by the owner of the vehicle. The car club incurs the fees. It is merely a relocation of those cars, and we'll have staff down there to facilitate that. We only end up having to remove by tow a few cars every single year. We do a really good job of proactively getting out there and trying to get that done without that, using our CAD and dispatch center to make phone contact with owners, going into the local businesses, which normally that's where people are. they're in the business, enjoying a meal and a drink prior to the car show starting, so we can get them out there and then do that. We try to have the streets open back up by about 11 p.m. Saturday night, and that will be the goal again for this year. Some helpful information as you go about the week. Plan ahead. Please go slow. There's lots of traffic, and certainly watch out for cars and pedestrians. Advanced planning helps ensure a smooth event. Registration for the car show has been ongoing, and that will continue up to and including the day of the event and including through Saturday. And there are several locations you can do that in the park or at the Franklin County Visitor Center located on K68 Highway. There'll be 2 sections where you can offload vehicles that are trailered in. You can do that at the old Underwoods lot at the intersection of I-35 and K68, and certainly at Orlis Cox Ball Fields, where you can park your trailers and then drive your cars into the show from there. Forest Park has staff from the car show. Our volunteers and police services will and other community groups will help direct people into the park throughout the day. And there's plenty of parking nearby and shuttles all around the area to find a parking space for you to do that. The cruise night begins Saturday night right around 4 o'clock. We'll begin moving cars around 3 p.m. And then the actual cruise night event will end at 9 o'clock. And then we ask that all cars participating in the cruise night back straight into the parking spots. Don't park at an angle. Don't park to try to take up 2 spaces. It becomes dangerous for pedestrians. It becomes dangerous for cars pulling out in and out of those spots. And we will ask you and make you move into that spot. Plus, because of the length of some of these cars, we can't have them off on an angle because it really starts interfering with the rest of the things that have to be done. So we'll ask people to park straight back into their spots for the cruise night. It takes about 100 volunteers to work downtown during the cruise night to help keep people safe and to clean up afterwards. Volunteers will work throughout the entire weekend to make this off. And it is literally hundreds of volunteers that are going into making this event so good and so successful and so unique for our community. The cruise night route generally starts in the park. They'll come out of the park onto Tecumseh Street, go to Main Street, go down Main to Park Street, go around City Park, and then come back out on 5th Street to Main, then go north on Main and turn on Tecumseh again to start the entire loop. So anyone who is in high school in the community and maybe cruising the day, you know that loop pretty darn good. It's the same thing for cruise night. So it's bringing back a whole bunch of good memories. After it's over, we ask that all vehicles be removed from downtown. Again, that is for the safety of the juveniles that are generally the community group that comes through, one of the 4-H groups that comes through to clean up downtown. We want to make sure those kids are safe as well. So we ask that you leave downtown when we're doing that so we can clean up trash and the debris, and it gives all the vendors time to safely remove all of the stuff that they've set up for the car show night. Barricades will be in place and volunteers will be located at all of those to direct traffic in and out. And then again, we should have streets opened up by 11 o'clock Saturday night. We can't do this alone, like I mentioned in my opening remarks. Certainly every single city department is involved. Our utility department helps us weeks in advance to set up the camera system that we use to remotely view what's going on downtown. Our public works and parks drop barricades, help us set up barricades, make sure that we're working together to provide the space ready. Our fire department helps us with our water barricades to keep the route safe and blocked off. And then we bring in a multitude of different agencies to provide additional staff for us. And up there I have them listed, certainly our police department and volunteer squad. And within Franklin County, the Wellsville Police Department, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, including the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Reserve Unit, working throughout the weekend to assist us. And then some of the outside agencies that have been longtime partners to provide additional staff is the University of Kansas, KUPD, the Lawrence Police Department, Emporia PD, Shawnee Police Department, Gardner Police Department, Leawood Police Department, and the Olathe Police Department. In addition to those law enforcement assets, we also have the Adult Detention Center who assist us. Luckily, we don't make many arrests during any of these weekends events, but if we do, the detention staff is ready and prepared to assist us. Franklin County Emergency Management is a key component to our planning, including help us with ICS check-in and check-out of all of our emergency service personnel. Creates the severe weather plan, which we have at times had to activate to safely remove people from downtown in an orderly fashion. EMS works with our fire department and police department to provide rapid response teams, both in the park and downtown, to make sure that anyone who might suffer a medical emergency receives the quick treatment that they can, and they be transported out of the area for that. And certainly our communications center. They staff additional personnel and are in our command post, assisting and working with us. We still have outside operations outside of downtown that go on throughout our county, and we need to make sure that those services are not interrupted. So having the additional staff from the communications center, EMS, and emergency management with us specifically in the command post to manage the event, make sure we can pull this off really smoothly. And we couldn't do this without our community partners as well. We get some additional Gator vehicles from Ottawa University so that we can have our staff move about. The local Chamber of Commerce assists us with everything downtown. Recreation Commission with some parking spots for us over at Orlis Cox. Main Street Association to help us with everything related to Main Street. And then Agile Mesh is a camera system we use downtown. So that is within Kansas, the state is divided into emergency management regions. Our northeast region is where Franklin County is located. Within that region, there's a camera system dedicated for public safety that is portable and remote. And we as Ottawa PD have been the agency within our entire, it's about 20 some counties worth of emergency management response areas. We are the holder of that Agile Mesh camera system, honestly, because we use it more than the other counties do. So we hold it, we put it up downtown so we can remotely live stream the entire area in our command post for the weekend of events. Another example of that system being used is at the University of Kansas for graduation. So they obviously have a big influx of people. So we'll deploy our staff and those cameras up there and set them up for KUP to use. That is a great local asset, local resource that's no cost to our community, but certainly provides a level of safety that we think we need. Andy's Record Service for helping us out downtown with the cars, and the Car Club board and Car Club members. We wouldn't be here having this conversation. It wasn't for that small group of individuals that bring this event to our community. And we have a great working relationship with them. We have a really good plan. We tweak it every single year, but we make sure that all of the decisions that are made is to provide a safe, fun, and open event for as many people as we can in the community. And planning is certainly a collaborative effort amongst all of our city resources and our county partners to make sure that we can pull this off as safe as we can. This is just kind of a little map of the event. I've already described it in that little flow chart, but basically the big impact will be when the car show ends on Saturday afternoon and the participants move into the cruise night. We have to get everyone out of the park and then everyone into downtown. And we coordinate that with the car club to make sure it can be done orderly and safely, because by the time we release people from the park to come downtown, we have blocked one of only 2 bridges over our river. So the K-68 bypass is critical that we keep that safe, accident-free, so we can keep cars going. If we have a motor vehicle accident on that bridge as it relates to cars coming in or out of the park, it will bottleneck things for several hours and really could delay Saturday night. So we've got to be really safe, and this map pushes those people out around to get back into the car cruise night event from 7th Street, where the car club members will then begin directing people to go free for all to find your favorite parking spot, which they all have. They all know where they want to go back to. So we don't want to interfere with them getting back to that spot. And then certainly have locations for our emergency services to get through. We need to keep 2nd Street clear as an east-west corridor for emergency response vehicles. And we also dedicate fire, ambulance, and police resources on the north side during the event to make sure that we don't have any delays in emergency responses. Because we only rely on the city bypass on K-68 for emergency services, the only other way to get north would be to go out to I-35 and around, and we don't want to delay that emergency response time if we don't need to. I don't need any action from the commission. Just want to express our thanks again to everyone to make this event so fun and so safe for the community, and look forward to another 40 years of planning the car show and it being here in our community for a long time. And I know that the car club will probably be asking for some help and volunteers to want to make sure this community event returns to Ottawa again. And I stand for any questions that you might have regarding our planning for the event.
Chief, I got a question on the law enforcement agencies involved. Is this this seems like an extensive list. Is this an increase over years past?
It's not actually a little bit of a reduction. So
Actually?
yeah. These agencies that have been helping us out have been with us for many years. We transitioned from more of a foot patrol to, while we will have officers assigned in each block downtown, but we have bike teams. So we're leveraging our bike patrol. So we've actually been able to provide increased service with our camera system, our drones or UASs, and the bike teams. We've been able to reduce the number of people that we brought in over the few years while providing what I think is enhanced response times and more visible officers downtown.
That's what I was saying. A show of force is a good idea on there. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. I assume that and you mentioned earlier, we reciprocate with Lawrence or University of Kansas during their graduation. Are there other events that we send officers to?
There are. We've been down to Emporia a few years to help with the gravel ride. Our
Okay.
bike teams have been down there several times when they've asked for that. And if KU has a good year during basketball season, we get invited to go up to Lawrence, and we've done that many times. But I joke with my Lawrence partners. They have an opportunity every year to maybe go to Final Four. It doesn't always happen, but we know in this community, car show happens every year. So this is a guarantee. Going up to Lawrence is not.
Got you there. Thank you for that. And also,
Yeah.
our intersection at First and Main is still four-way stop. Will that be still there, do we know, for the car show, or will they need to stop at that four-way and they go through the intersection?
Since it's a closed route for the cruise night downtown, we turn off all traffic signals downtown just to make sure that there's not any confusion. And there will be it's a closed route, so there isn't any real traffic regulations for intersection of that. It's just free flow traffic. We'll just pull the sign out and put it on the sidewalk like we do with the barricades when we're ready to do that. And then have it back in for that four-way intersection,
Sure.
11 o'clock when the roadways open back up.
Very good. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
And Chief, pardon me, I had it on as a question to ask. I saw it on the last slide. Towed cars, if you're unavailable, you can't reach, the owner of a vehicle, it is towed. They're being taken to Kansas State Bank parking lot, and that's where folks can snag it from there.
They will be. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll have an officer in charge down there that they can liaison with. Generally, those calls go to our dispatch center and then to the communications group working the car show. And we'll make sure that we return the rightful owner's car to the rightful owner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And is the command post, the EOC, right in front of kind of district court building, is that the best spot if someone has, a request, a missing child, something similar to that to go? Or contact kind of the people at the end of each block? What's their best kind of avenue for that?
Contact them at the end of each block is the first course of action to report anyone missing or found property, and those teams can facilitate it up to the command post. The actual EOC is in the Franklin County Emergency Operations Center on the third floor of the jail building located at 3rd and Hickory. We'll have a command post, a small command post of our EMS responders and information at 3rd and Main as well, but in each block is your best case to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that way we can relay that information to the DJ booth and to Kofa, who does the live stream broadcast via the radio, and all the cars that are participating in the cruise night.
Okay, thank you for that information, and thank you to all of the people that volunteer their time and make sure that we're safe and that the event goes on as planned.
Thank you.
We will move on to item 11B.
Consider the 2025 third quarter NRP rebate applications for 8 properties.
This is to consider the approval of the 2025 third quarter NRP rebate applications for 8 properties as recommended by the Neighborhood Revitalization Program Review Committee. And we have Planning Assistant Hurd.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Mayor and Commission, for allowing me to bring this to you today. Today I have 8 properties. I did realize that one of those properties is just outside of the boundary, so I apologize about that. So that I'll redo the packet, approval packet for you to sign later, if that is your findings here today. So I brought this packet to the review committee on August 26th. The review committee recommends that you approve the properties, the 8 properties minus that one. The program, just a little background, is intended to improve the welfare of the community by providing a rebate for the rehabilitation or development within the district boundaries. The committee was formed in 1997 and is currently being represented by Sarah Kaler for the city of Ottawa, Rod Harris with Franklin County, and Harold Wingert with USD 290. The list of properties, sorry, I went too fast. So the list of properties that I have for you today, 5 of those are new builds. We have 817 South Maple Street, 844 East 7th, 832 East Hamlin, 846 East Hamlin, and 919 East Hamlin. We have we would have 1 residential remodel, which would be 828 North Oak. And then we do have a commercial that is being remodeled. There's a 3-story commercial building it'll have 2 floors of that as residential. Those will be for rent at 205 South Main Street. Earlier this year, there was a housing study that was put out that recommended that the city of Ottawa needed a total of 344 homes by 2030. To date, 36 homes have been applied for by building permits. 76 homes are anticipated through the incentive process, leaving a shortfall of 236 as of September 1st when I ran those numbers. The highest shortage in housing would be within the 350,000 to 999,000, which we still need 62 units for. The highest shortage for rent is 26 units needed between 800 and 999 monthly rentals. We do have a surplus right now within that rental range of 1,200 to 1,499 with an extra 4 units planned within that category. So again, that's still a deficit of 236 homes.
Ashley, could you?
Yeah,
come back for
I'm
a
sorry.
second?
Yeah.
So I appreciate this information. I'm glad you gave this to us because I talk about this all the time. I just wanted to add a little bit of information.
Yeah.
So it says we need 210 new homes on our paper here. 134 rentals. So that's where you get the 344, but it's 210 new homes. And we're building 36. We have 36 applications right now for new construction homes, which doesn't seem like we're making a big dent, but we really are. I just heard that KCK last year had 22 applications. KCK had 22 applications for new homes.
Yeah.
So we're 165% of what they're doing at KCK. So it's because of people like Mr. Ogle, who was here earlier, and Mr. Van Knight, and things like that. People like that are really making a commitment to our community, and we certainly appreciate that.
Correct. There are infill housing where developers come in and they split those lots, which does increase that number, which has helped tremendously, I believe. So
Thank you.
yeah. So financial considerations for this, over 10 years, I'm just gonna summarize for that, but over 10 years, approximately for this section would be about a little over $47,000, minus that one that I made that mistake for, but and I just asked that the commission go ahead and approve these 7 houses that fall within that district. So you can either take action today or we can deliberate at a different date.
And I would say certainly taking action on the 7 today, but if you find when you go back that 8th one is in the boundary, then certainly bring it back to us. It looks like it's just barely out.
I did look at that and I apologize. It's just right over. Yeah.
Okay. If you find any different though.
Yeah, I will
be
for
sure to
sure.
Bring it back. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
I did want to point out too, I did ask the county for some numbers, and I just wanted to let you know that in 2015, there was 27 applications that were getting that rebate. In 2024, there was 179. So it has increased tremendously over the last 10 years.
Madam Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve item 11B with the exception of property at 1021 West 4th.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. Any further discussion? May I have roll call vote, please?
How do you vote, Mayor Pro Tem Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor is absent. Commissioner Crowley?
Yes.
And Mayor Allen.
And I vote yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to comments by our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Just a couple of highlights. We'll make it quick. Want to highlight the activity of our police department and community outreach, and we'll be having a Public Safety Academy October 19th. I'm sorry, in October with 19 of 20 filled. And we want to also highlight that Lieutenant Luft and Sergeant Murphy graduated from the FBI Lead a Command Leader Institute here. And they have received a $5,000 overtime step grant that we're appreciative for to assist in traffic enforcement. We also have began working with our community partners to develop a welcome packet for those moving into our community that will be received at the utility office for registration at that time. The Olmare River Run Car Show in Forest Park, Chief did a wonderful job outlining the preparations that your staff has taken to welcome this influx of visitors to our community for this annual car show that draws from not only across the state and the region, but nationally as well. We have the golf course activities and still are asking individuals to sign up for the October 11th and 12th City Open Championship from 1 to 7 p.m. on October 11th and 12th. And then here are the open positions that we're currently applying for, and our Director of Neighborhood and Community Services should be closing in September with our interviews occurring the 6th and 7th and 13th and 14th. And currently we have no agenda items planned for the next meeting, but we will be presenting some items potentially, and if not, then we'll have our meeting in October. And that concludes my report. If there are no questions of myself or another member of the team.
Just follow-up question, Brian, on the intersection at First and Main. I know, unfortunately, the person hit the pole with the control box, and so that's delayed any and all repairs. Do we know when it will be repaired?
I will defer to Director Sneathen to provide a more concrete timeline, but I know that preparation for repair is in way, but there's some supply chain issues as well.
Good question, Commissioner Skidmore. At this time, it was anticipated that last week we would have the intersection back up and running. Unfortunately, it is a control box issue. There is a specific controller mechanism inside of that box that is not functioning properly. The vendor is coming down tomorrow to look at it again in hopes of getting that intersection back up to a temporary normal traffic signal. Just know that that may or may not happen depending on what they find tomorrow in their investigation of that controller box.
I guess we've had no other accidents there, have we, since okay, we're shaking it, good. That's good news. So I know when you got 4 lanes going one way and the cars pull up at the different times, you know, it could create a mess, I guess, the best way to put it. But so far so good, so let's keep it that way. But great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to comments by the governing body. We'll start with Commissioner Skidmore.
I just want to say about the car show, again, thank you for all those volunteers, especially also at the tractor show. You know, some people think these things just happen, and they don't. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people both on paid side and unpaid side. And so I just want to thank everybody for all those things, how important that is. And then on the finance department, I'm going to say congratulations too on how we're handling our idle funds. It still amazes me we're getting 4.25% on our overnight money when the 10-year treasury is trading at 4.02 today. So we'll just ride this inverted yield curve as long as we can. So good job, ladies, and keep up the good work.
Commissioner Crowley.
I have no comment.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Clayton.
I was just going to ask Chief if you had any kind of update, after action report on the tractor show. We saw a presentation last week, kind of preparation, just if there was, anything of note, or if it was smooth sailing over the past weekend, or how that went.
No public safety concerns. There was a medical emergency, but because there are staffed in the park with the ambulance service and an officer down there, they were able to respond quickly and handle the medical emergency. Other than that, there were no reported issues.
Thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations too for all you guys' hard work and
Yeah.
paying off and everything.
Thank you.
So, and then, yeah, just a shout out again to everyone who's a part of these NRPs. That's a great stat that in 2015 we had 27 homes and we have 179 in. That's just a testament to those developers who are, putting their money where their mouth is and really trying to help improve the community. And I think we can all see that. I wanted to plug, I'm not sure the exact time, so if someone knows, speak up. At Advent Health, I think it's at 6 tomorrow.
5.
5.
Well, I think it's 5 to 7.
Okay. 5 to 7 tomorrow, for, I guess, the opening of OB and bringing some of that stuff back. So it's an exciting time. I think they're offering tours of kind of the birthing centers there and some of those things. And I know a bunch of people who are excited. So hopefully you can make that.
And I have no comment. We'll move on to announcements. On September 24th, 2025, we have a city commission meeting at 4 p.m., October 1st at 7 p.m., October 8th at 4 p.m., all here at City Hall. And then October 9th through 11th, we'll be attending the League of Kansas Municipalities Annual Conference. And seeing no other business before us, I will adjourn.